Welcome to a landmark edition in the Saga of the Stars. Welcome to your home for layered interpretation and verified whispers, Turkish spotlight secrets. On the lip of 2026, while fireworks stitched neon into the Istanbul sky, a far gentler glow rose from a quiet address by the Bosphorus, one that spoke louder than any headline. Tonight, we step into the wake left by the duo who electrified an era and never needed noise to command attention, Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu. For months, a gust of uncertainty has skated through fans' timelines, faint rumors of distance, breathless speculation about silent frost on set, and a chorus of pundits eager to declare a curtain fall. But what surfaced in the last hours is not noise at all. It is intent. Before we trace every gentle note in the images that have mesmerized social feeds, a heartfelt invitation. If you value narration that is patient, elegant, and anchored to what can be seen, subscribe to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. Hit the bell so the pulse of the stars arrives the moment it quickens. And if you want to be a pillar for this work, unlocking content we reserve for our inner circle, tap the join button now. Your support keeps our curiosity independent and our craft uncompromised. Now hush, because we are about to step where speculation grows quiet. New Year's Eve love spectacle, but for Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu, the first breath of 2026 arrived on a stage of understatement. The photographs they have released, or more precisely, permitted to breathe, do not flaunt grand hotels, nor glittering guest lists. What they show is a space with the stillness of intention. Minimal lines. Thoughtful warmth. A small tree trimmed with focused care. Soft lights pooling in corners as if peace itself had taken a chair and settled in to listen. No frantic choreography. No trace of a narrative bent on rupture. Barış appears unguarded, at ease. Elçin's presence, luminous yet unadorned, catches a tone that press junkets never fully capture. There is nothing staged about the mood, nothing screams for attention. The images land like a sigh after weeks of clamor. For the Turkish Spotlight Secrets family, that matters, truth that doesn't raise its voice still carries. For weeks, silence bred theories. Their absence from premieres together, their separate commitments, their refusal to throw kindling onto the weekly rumor fire, plenty took that as proof of a fracture. Yet the answer that arrived is crafted from a different grammar. No press conference. No frantic denials. Only a pocket of quiet, shared and photographed with the restraint of people who know what matters doesn't survive on parade floats. Here at Turkish Spotlight Secrets, we read that choice as maturity. They are not the bright new faces scrambling to pass a popularity exam. They are seasoned artists who understand that oxygen for any bond, professional, personal, or somewhere gracefully in between, is privacy. When the noise swells, they step deeper into a room only they can enter. From voices close to their orbit, we hear this decision to spend a low-key New Year's Eve, away from spectacle and crowded timelines, began as a pact to protect what gives them strength. In a gesture that felt as modern as it did timeless, schedules were shifted, obligations sorted, and a clear perimeter drawn. No racing between parties. No performance of togetherness. Just presence. In the low gleam of that room, a small table carried simple dishes, steam rising like a promise rather than a show. Music near a whisper. Words held unheard. The evening, if you listen closely, registers like a reset. Not a grand proclamation, but a calibration toward center. On Turkish Spotlight Secrets, we salute that step, the turn away from public appetite toward a quieter hunger that belongs only to them. Let's pause our narrative, rich as it is, dear Turkish Spotlight Secrets family. Tell us, do you believe that silence and simplicity disarm rumors better than speeches? Or do public figures owe us a clearer window into their private seasons? Which other Turkish pair, on-screen partners, real-life couples, or both? Would you like us to examine with this same attentive lens? Your thoughts matter here. Write with care, we read with care. And if this kind of depth speaks to you, tap like. If you want to sustain independent storytelling that others barely skim, join as your invitation to our inner room. There is a sense, watching Elçin Sangu across these last months, of someone who has stepped over an unseen border. The chatter hasn't disappeared, it never does. But the way it lands has changed. Those who know her say she has been doing a quiet housecleaning of the soul, choosing where her gaze rests, deciding which rooms in her life get light, and closing the shutters on the ones that drain. In that curation, a more deliberate bond with Barış has emerged, not louder, not bigger, but steadier. Measured choices. Fewer distractions. A pared-down evening where the best part of the table wasn't the decor but the conversation. He, with commitments that would challenge anyone's calendar, appears to have become a steady hand at the wheel, attentive to harmony and allergic to chaos. The result is a room that holds. A quiet that restores rather than isolates. A companionship that breathes rather than tries to perform breathing. Here at Turkish Spotlight Secrets, we recognize that as evolution, and we respect its delicacy. The industry, used to grand gestures and sudden reconciliation staged for the cameras, has watched this slow turn with surprise, and, if we're honest, admiration. Where others answer rumors with press releases, Barış and Elçin responded with restraint. No sprawling threads online. No courtroom of comments to defend or attack. Just images bearing the weight of a truth: if you are centered, you do not need to prove you are centered. It's a strategic stroke, even if unintentional. By refusing to feed the furnace, they redirected attention to what brought them here in the first place: their work, their craft, and a bond the audience can feel even in stillness. The tide on social media has shifted, too. Critics have found less to gnaw on. Admirers, more to recognize. This, one comment read again and again, is how grown-ups protect what matters. In an age where everything is overexposed, nothing rings more luxurious than authenticity. Look closely. Closer than a casual scroll allows, and the final images hold details that instruct the trained eye. The energy in that space does not flinch like something being patched, it settles like something already sound. There's a glance caught in passing, not performed but discovered, the kind that belongs to two people who know how to be alone together and still feel complete as themselves. A deliberate distance of inches, yes, but not of spirit. The furniture of their rapport looks well made. We're told that as 2026 unfolds, Elçin is curating projects that honor this quieter design, choosing work that gives her room to live, not just roles to inhabit. Barış, drawing strength from the same stillness, appears ready to shoulder his own challenges with the easy calm of someone who has a harbor when the wind climbs. The message does not shout. It doesn't need to. They are aligned. They are resilient. They have chosen substance over spectacle, journey over noise. This New Year's Eve wasn't a finisher's tape. It was an opening chord. A choice about tempo and volume, about how much of themselves to share and how much to keep untouched. Before we close, gratitude flows from this desk to yours. Thank you for making Turkish Spotlight Secrets the place where analysis is an art, not just an algorithm. If you haven't joined our membership, you're missing the long-form breakdowns, the private Q&As, the early glimpses we can't publish wide. Click join to keep our work fearless and refined. Your badges become our compass, and your voice helps steer our next deep dives. As we seal this chronicle of a New Year's Eve that refused the script of spectacle, one truth remains steady: Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu have gently outlasted speculation. They reminded us that not every pact asks for witnesses, and not every season requires commentary. Sometimes the richest statement is the absence of one. Their choice to welcome the year in a quiet, meaningful way is a gift to anyone who still believes that happiness grows when you stop putting it under floodlights. At Turkish Spotlight Secrets, we'll keep listening, not to echo chambers, but to the signals that matter. We will watch for the gestures that don't need captions and the silences that pulse with intention. May 2026 bring them the peace they've clearly made room for. If this story stirred something in you, if it made you consider all the things we keep safe by keeping them small, tap like, share it with those who cheer for Barış and Elçin, and subscribe so you never miss our next unveiling. And once more, consider joining our membership by clicking join. Your support is the quiet power that lets Turkish Spotlight Secrets keep its promise. Until the next exclusive, stay close, stay curious, and keep your ears tuned to the softest sound in the room. The one that tells the truth without begging to be believed.